Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the world of finance. But look, this is not going to be some boring lecture, all right? Think of it more like an adventure. We're going to treat finance not as a scary maze of numbers, but as a treasure map. A map that can actually lead you to the life you want. So let's get into it.
So let's just start with a really big question, right here at the beginning. Just for a second, picture the life you've always wanted. I mean, really picture it. Maybe it's traveling, maybe it's launching your own company, or maybe it's just having that feeling of complete financial peace of mind. Now, what's standing in the way? You might think it's just luck or that it's out of your hands. But what if it's a skill, a tool that you can learn and you can master? And this, right here, is the absolute core idea we need to get our heads around. We have to completely reframe how we think about finance. It's not just about spreadsheets and complicated stock tickers on a screen. No. At its heart, finance is the engine that unlocks possibilities. It's the practical, real-world way to turn those huge dreams into an actual, achievable plan.
Okay, so let's run with this treasure map idea. Finance is your personal map. It shows you exactly where you are right now, it helps you pinpoint where you want to go, that's your treasure, and it lays out the different paths to get there. To make this real, we're going to follow the story of a student named Marina. She had this dream of launching a tech company, and she quickly realized that finance, well, that was the map she desperately needed to get from a simple idea to a potential billion-dollar reality.
So what is finance really? When you strip it all down, it's the science of making smart decisions with your two most precious resources, your money and your time. It is the bridge that connects your biggest, wildest, most far-off goals with the small, concrete steps you can take today, tomorrow, and the next day. It's about making your money start working for your future self.
Right. So every good map shows you a world, right? A world filled with incredible opportunities, but also some real challenges. In finance, that world is called the financial market. So let's zoom in and figure out how this place actually works.
You know, the best way to think about the financial market is to imagine a giant, bustling shopping center. Seriously. But instead of buying, sneakers or TVs, people are buying and selling pieces of a company's future. It's this incredible system designed to do one thing: connect people who have money, we call them investors, with people who have amazing ideas but need that money to make them happen. It's where capital meets creativity.
And when you look closer, this whole financial ecosystem is actually pretty simple. First, you've got the main players, the investors with the cash and the entrepreneurs with the ideas. Then, you've got the intermediaries, like banks and brokers. Think of them as the matchmakers, the ones who connect everybody. And finally, you have the places where it all goes down, like the stock exchange. That's the marketplace. At its core, it's just a system for getting resources to the places they can create the most value. That's it.
But of course, no adventure, no treasure hunt is ever just a straight line. There are always obstacles. On our financial map, the mountains you have to climb, the storms you have to weather, they all go by one name: risk. And believe me, understanding risk is the single most important skill for anyone exploring this world. So, what even is risk? Well, simply put, it's the chance that things won't turn out exactly how you planned. But here's the game-changing part. Risk isn't just the bad guy. Think about it. A world with zero risk would be, well, boring. Every investment would have the exact same tiny, predictable return. There'd be no chance for massive success. Risk is the spice. It's what creates the opportunity for something truly amazing to happen.
And this brings us to the golden rule of all of finance: the risk-return trade-off. It's a fundamental law. If you want the chance at a higher return, you must be willing to take on higher risk. It's that simple. On one end of the spectrum, you've got a savings account. Super low risk, your money is safe, but your gains are going to be tiny. On the complete other end, you have something like betting all your money on red at the roulette wheel. Yeah, you could double your money in a second, but you'll probably lose everything. Every real investment you'll ever make lives somewhere on that line between those two extremes.
Okay, so we get the world. We understand its fundamental rule of risk versus return. Now what? How do we actually navigate it successfully? Well, we need the right tools. We need a compass. We need our instruments for the journey. So let's open up the investor's toolkit and see what's inside.
The first, and maybe the most important tool, is called valuation. You see, professional investors don't just throw darts at a board. They do the math. They calculate what a company is really worth. Let's jump back to our hero, Marina. She's now working as an analyst, and she's looking at a hot new startup called Tech Dreams. Before she invests a single dollar, she needs to figure out its true intrinsic value.
So where does she even start? With a number called free cash flow.
This metric is king because it's not some accounting trick. It's the actual cold hard cash the business has left over after paying all its bills and reinvesting in its own future growth. For Tech Dreams, that number was $10,000 in its first year. Now that is a fantastic sign. It tells Marina that this young company is already generating real cash.
Okay, so Tech Dreams is making cash. Awesome. But let's be real, it's still a risky startup. So how does an investor like Marina put a number on that risk? How does she figure out what kind of return she should demand to make taking that risk worthwhile? For that, she needs a very specific formula.
And that formula is called the Capital Asset Pricing Model, or CAPM for short. Now, I know, it sounds super complicated, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. It's a tool that helps an investor calculate the minimum return they should expect from any investment to justify its risk. It's basically how you put a price tag on risk itself.
This right here is the investor's code. Let's just break it down real quick, no stress. That RF is the risk-free rate. That's the return you could get on something super safe like a government bond. The premium or market risk premium is the extra return investors want just for being in the stock market at all. And that beta, that's the magic number. It measures how risky Tech Dreams is compared to the whole market. So a beta of 2 means it's twice as volatile. By plugging in the numbers, Marina calculated that a fair return for this investment should be 22% a year. And since she believed its potential was way higher than that, she invested. See, this is how finance connects big dreams to hard data.
So, we've looked at the map, we've talked about the risks, we've opened the toolkit. Now let's talk about you. If this world gets you excited, what role could you actually play in it? What kind of adventurer could you be? There are so many different paths, and each one fits a different kind of person.
First up, we've got the path of the number detective. These are the Sherlock Holmeses of the financial world. If you love math, you love coding, you love digging through mountains of data to find those hidden patterns that nobody else can see, this is your trail. We're talking about roles like data scientist or research analyst. You're basically a financial mystery solver.
And what does a number detective actually do? Well, imagine building a computer program that scans Twitter 24/7 to analyze the public's mood about a company, and then uses that data to predict how the stock will move. You are literally turning human emotion into a predictive financial tool. I mean, how cool is that? Okay, next is the path of the trusted counselor. This one is for the communicators, the empaths, the people who genuinely love helping other people reach their goals. These are your private wealth managers, your investment consultants. Their job is to take all this complexity we've been talking about and translate it into a simple, actionable life plan for their clients. On this path, trust is everything. And the impact here is so direct. You could be the person who sits down with a young couple, helps them map out a plan, and shows them exactly how to turn $500 a month into the down payment for their dream home. You're not just managing money, you're managing people's dreams. You're a dream enabler. And finally, path number 3, the deal maker. This is for the adrenaline junkies, the ones who thrive on high-stakes, high-pressure situations. We're talking about investment bankers who put together billion-dollar mergers and traders who make split-second decisions that can move entire markets. If you love being right in the middle of the action, this is your arena.
So there you have it. We've gone over the entire landscape. From seeing finance as a tool for your dreams, to navigating the market, using the real tools of the trade, and even seeing what kind of career you could have. The knowledge isn't some big secret anymore. The map is officially, right now, in your hands. So the only question left is, when does your adventure begin?